Live from Venice Beach, California. Welcome. Friggin' art show thing. Today is Monday, August 11th. This is show number 54. 54? Did I say 50? Yeah, I said 54. 54 times out of the blocks. So, some sad news. Robin Williams passed away today. And they're saying that a good chance he died of asphyxiation, possibly after suffering a lot of depression. And there's a good chance it was a suicide. And I'm sure we've all been touched by suicide in the past. I think it's just really amazing how one person can affect so many lives on a personal level. Like every person that is all over the internet about Robin Williams, or I should say for every person that's all over the internet about their feelings about Robin Williams, every one of them, had felt that they had a personal relationship with this person that was positive and enriching and cherished by them all. And it's a testament that a person can live such a life. And it's certainly, an aspiration to live such a life, to be such a positive influence on people's lives. And there are more people, all the people that will never be on the internet, that whose lives were affected by him as well, What comes to mind for me about it is I've had in the past couple of years, I've had a number of people that I know very well, blood, sweat, and tears together, pass away. And one of them, Bam Bam, committed suicide. For this, same reason. He had been dealing with a lot of dysfunction, a lot of depression, and recovering from a lot of drug use and whatnot, and in the past few months, in my studies into out-of-body experiences and astral projection and near-death experiences and all that, I've come to an understanding that feels really in my bones true, and certainly consoling, and that is that eternity is a relative thing, and the universe doesn't punish people for committing suicide. People, as infinite immortal children of light, we have the choice of whether or not to punish ourselves for taking our lives. But, beyond the, when you die, you're beyond the culture. You're essentially living beyond the culture, but you're not necessarily living beyond a belief system. And there are realms where your belief system that you're in resonance with, there are realms that are created that you and everybody else that believes in that belief system are, and thus are in resonance with. That's where you end up, until you overcome that belief system, or choose to surrender that belief system, or transcend that belief system, whatever. So if you believe that that suicide is wrong and a sin, or any of that kind of constructs, then you may choose to punish yourself when you leave your body for having made a choice like that. And but that's your own construct. That's your own. That the universe doesn't hold a grudge. It doesn't punish people. That said, that people will end up in places that are pretty hellish because they believe in those places. But I had an experience a number of years ago that was, and I may have talked about it on here before, and I'll just try to sum it up. There was a woman at a rainbow gathering in Australia, at the World Rainbow Gathering in Australia in 2000, that was, she had a psychotic break. And it was obvious that we were not in a position to help her, other than to do our best to get her to the authorities. And we made that effort. And fortunately, the hospital that we took her to was not able to admit her right away. And so people stayed with her. One person stayed with her. They got a motel room, and she escaped. She, a couple of days after that, she threw herself under a bus in Byron Bay, Australia. And because I kind of spearheaded the effort to get her out of the gathering and get her to the medical, psychiatric people. Because what had happened is she had started to, she attacked some parents trying to take their kids from them, and people just got loopy, and and it turns out that the reason why she did that was because she had a child. She was recovering from the grief and mourning of having a child die, and she thought the kid that she was taking was her own. And so it was a pretty twisted scenario. Hello. So anyway, she passed, and a couple of I'll tell you in a second.
No, that's you.
Do you have like a board that can press on it?
I roll it up.
Roll it up.
So, just for your edification, I do a live stream at 6 o'clock.
Oh, are we on? Are we on? Okay. Well, greetings from Detroit. Greetings to Detroit. That sounds just like me.
You know what I did? How much is it?
How do you make these? They spray paints and stencils or what?
And they would
With a
like,
brush?
but
Okay.
I
Like
like
this.
basically.
I like that. I like that.
Oh.
Right up.
Leave it 10, right?
Do you have that in 5 dollars? Can you find? We want to send find
What?
$20.
Yeah, it's fine. I like the big one.
So, back to the drama. So about 2 weeks after that happened, that word got back to the gathering that she had killed herself. I was helping to focalize a dinner circle, and after the meal, I went to this. After I'd gotten the pots to go in all the right directions and everything like that, I went and I stood in the circle waiting for the food to come because I hadn't eaten yet myself. And there was I went to this corner of the circle that I'd never sat in before, and it was just after dark, and it was pretty close to a full moon. And it may have been just after a full moon. So it was pretty bright. And as I'm standing there, this gentleman came up, this brother I'd never seen before, who was at the gathering. He said that he had been at the gathering for a while, and then he left for 2 weeks, and he was just getting back, and he came up and he was like, is there any, are they still serving? He was an Aussie, so I'm not going to try to do an Aussie accent here. Hey there. So he was very soft-spoken, and there was a young woman standing there too, and I told him, you know, the food was going to come in a minute, and that, you know, we just started the dinner circles. He was like, oh great, you know, he'd come from Byron, I think. Yeah, he'd come from Byron, which is 2 hours away from the gathering site in Tenterfield, in the Banu State Forest, on the edge of it, on a piece of land that was, you know, that we leased from a farmer who was trying to sell it, and it's a beautiful place. So we're standing there waiting for the food, and suddenly he just starts talking, and he says, you know, my sister and I are really close. Just out of the blue, that's what he says. He says, my sister and I are really close. I was like, cool. You know, la 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 la. He says, my sister died about a year ago. I was like, okay. He says, we are, you know, she often comes to me. It's like, okay. And he said, she came to me just recently. She came, and this time when she came, she had someone with her. Now, you got to understand that he wasn't around when this whole thing went down with this woman. The woman, I can't remember what her name was, but she was from Holland. She was probably in her late 30s, early 40s, and you know, she spoke English pretty well, and she was, you know, functionally, she was like one of those people that's right on the edge, bipolar, and possibly schizophrenic, and so she could function. You know, if you weren't really paying attention, you'd think that she was just like anybody else, but then she would say stuff that was just so totally ludicrous and out there that and then she'd come right back, you know, with the next sentence, you know, where you thought that she was normal, right? Because I spent, you know, a couple of hours the afternoon before apparently that she arrived. When she first got to the gathering, I spent a couple of hours with her, and she was, you know, we were hanging out, having tea and whatnot, just having a conversation. I kind of got a feel for where she was, you know, and I'm used to, you know, working out here in places like this. I'm used to dealing with people that are, you know, borderline, you know, bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever, psychotic. So I know the vibe pretty well, and so anyway, back, you know, a couple weeks later, this brother's talking, and he says, yeah, my sister came to me, and she had someone with her, and he proceeds to describe this woman. And hey brother, how you doing?
How are you?
Good, good. I'm doing a live stream right now in case you are not cool with that. Some people don't want to be on camera.
Not at all.
Good. How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. It's always a pleasure. Oh, I had a cervical spine injury about March. I was assaulted on the beach here, bro.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Vaguely remember hearing something about that. Yeah.
Here I am. I'm on my feet.
Good. Congratulations.
I appreciate that very much.
Give me some water.
I appreciate that very much.
You know how to do it, man.
Do you, huh?
Oh yeah. You know, there's nothing like all that time you spend on your back, and then you finally get to sit up, and then you get to stand up, and then you get to like go outside, and then, you know, it's and the feeling like you'll you know, where you get to use your body, you know, in the times before where you took it for granted and all that.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? And just being able to take 3 steps. You know what I mean? Like normal people without any pain and stuff.
Oh my Lord! If you only knew. I mean, I have neuropathy from my neck down to my feet. I have like a sheath of numbness.
Yeah.
You know. So it's what you say. Those are so profound things that like they're so true that we take so much for granted. This body that we have is so intricately constructed.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And this recovery has become such an arduous process.
Yeah.
And the people at the definitely, and the people at the rehabilitation hospital that I was in are totally amazed that I recovered in such a quick amount of time. And I don't know what it is, bro.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's within us.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know exactly what it is. So, how old are you?
I'm 53.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And you?
I'll be 57 on the 26th.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
26.
So will I.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I got one of those.
You're going to be there for your birthday?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
It often happens. I've been every year for the past 12 years.
Oh, you were there last year?
Yeah, I was, finally. I had a friend. I showed up on Wednesday looking for a ticket, had the money in my pocket, didn't find anything didn't get in until Saturday.
So you
but
saw
I got to see a side of Burning Man that most people don't get to see, you know?
People trying to get in, the manifesting of you know, everyone's desire to experience that, and the yearning to be included in it, and yet after a while, I think not to say the yearning or the burning desire, ironically, subsides, and then you become contented at being there with the people that kind of forget about trying to struggle to get in so much that you just let it manifest, and that's when it just unfolds. You know? Someone says, "Hey, you know, we have an extra ticket," or come in with us, or something. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I had my friend Freedom, who had been there since Monday, and didn't get in until Friday. He came. He went in, and he got a wristband as he went in, because he says, I have to go out and do something. And the next day, he got on the bus. You know that there's a bus you can pay $20. It'll take you in the Gerlach, right?
Oh, right.
So it's $10 for the ride and $10 for the wristband, right? So for $20, he got to ride in the Gerlach, and he brought me that first wristband.
Oh, how sweet!
You know? And so I paid him a little bit for that, and met him inside. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't. I was planning to leave that day. But we got a message through a third friend that he was in touch with, that he was coming out. And that he got in and that he was coming out. And sure enough, he comes walking up and says, "I got your wristband," and without that, man, I would have been, SOL.
I don't know about that. Perhaps.
But I had a really impressive, experience even up until that point, just witnessing this whole side of Burning Man.
I agree.
The wannabe, I want to get,
that's
all
exactly
that
what
stuff,
I just told you.
And there's all this. There's a pretty seedy, there was a woman there that she got kicked out. She was bipolar.
Oh, yeah.
And they kicked her out. She hadn't done anything, but they just didn't want anything to happen, so they just revoked her ticket and kicked her out.
Really?
No kidding.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Especially there.
I can understand. I spent 2 days hanging, in the vicinity of her. We spent hours sitting and talking like normal people. After our initial, and I can understand if you don't get to that point, how you would think that this person is
I don't even want to call it normal, but just functional or whatnot.
Yeah, dysfunctional. Yeah.
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 But let me let you go back to your thing.
Okay. Okay.
I love you so much.
Yeah, man.
It's always a pleasure. I always have to stop and say hello to you.
Yep.
Thank you so much
I'm
for
glad
that
that you're
beautiful.
up. You're walking on your own. You're walking on the beach.
Man, I was at LiVE, man. I was like emceeing the whole courtyard that we built.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that was like a week after I got out of my rehab. And I was walking without my cane, had a different, bigger cane, just on organic food and juice.
Right.
Totally sober, man. I actually went to meetings there. Meetings in it, they had a AA. It was called Lightning Without a Bottle. And it was an AA meeting in a teepee.
Yeah, right.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
So this burn is going to be totally different for me because it's not going to be in any way, shape, or form of imbibing or anything.
Yeah.
It's going to be a glorious time. We're going to be on 9th Avenue somewhere. There's going to be Caravancicle. It's just incredible.
Caravancicles, I like that.
Yeah, but this camp is supposed to be. We're building a camp for the super rich.
What is
We're building toilets and so many incredible
What is it?
minutes.
What's it called?
It's called Caravancicle. That's the
Okay.
name of the
All right,
camp.
cool.
And ours is the Lost Hotel, and ours is going to be right next to it.
9
So,
o'clock and
yeah, so they're funding us to make their camp.
who's us?
Scott Mahoney, the people from the Raw Bar, a number of our Lost Hotel contingent that were
Okay.
builders last year of the temple.
Okay.
Greg
Right, temple
Fleischman,
crew. Right,
yeah, from Culver City. So
Right.
he allowed us to use his production team to build this hotel, and so I've been helping out. You know, instead of wallowing in my own self-pity, man, I'm cutting like 2,000 yards of webbing. This cord is, I can go on forever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's canvas up for days. When you see it at the burn, you'll say, "Oh my God!" Scotty kind of bit off a little bit more than he could chew at the cost of all of our volunteer
When are
work.
you going?
We're probably leaving on the 16th or the
Right.
15th.
Right. Good for you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I look forward to seeing what you guys created out
I
there.
appreciate that very much as well.
Yeah.
You have a safe trip,
You too, brother.
and come down to Venice Beach and see one of the most incredible artists that we have here. A mainstay over here 30 years. I'm serious. Yeah. Check it out.
All right, brother. Take
Love
care.
you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
I couldn't explain like that. I tried to write it.
Just so you know, I do a live stream at 6 o'clock. And, a live stream, and you're on camera.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Whereabouts?
Confederation Road.
Oh, yeah, in there.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I live like 5 minutes from Venice Beach.
Right on.
On the ocean road.
Right. Yeah, a friend of mine and I went in Australia for the World Rainbow Gathering in 2000.
Oh, man.
Tenerife. And then afterwards, there was an elders gathering in Lake Mungo, right? And then after that, this friend of mine and I, we went down to Melbourne, and we got a rent-a-car, and we drove up to Uluru. It was a combi, right? Drove up to Uluru, Earth Rock in the middle, and then we came back down, brought the car back, and we drove the ocean road. And then they needed the car to go back to Sydney. We needed to get back to Sydney, so we kept going all the way to Sydney. So we drove the whole.
You see like travel puzzles and stuff?
Excuse me?
Travel puzzles?
Oh yeah, we spent the night there.
I grew up in we had like a pub in Peterborough, like next to travel puzzles. We grew up there. So beautiful.
Yeah, it is a beautiful place. There's no doubt about it. Have you been up to Big Sur?
Yeah, we actually hitchhiked down from San Francisco to here.
Right,
So
to Big Sur.
yeah,
So I mean,
you know the hot springs kind of in the cliff on there?
yeah.
Yeah, we.
What is it? Esalen.
Yeah, Esalen.
Yeah. Did you get these?
One of the guys that picked us up, he worked there. He took us to the back gate.
Excellent.
It was
Excellent.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've snuck in there a couple of times. And my first time there, I had a friend that worked there. And started spending the whole weekend.
It's such a
It was
beautiful place.
before
The
the,
energy there is.
yeah, the new springs. I mean, the new building and everything.
Even just the people that grow their food, like it's just so peaceful.
Yeah, it is.
I want to
Pretty
bring that.
amazing.
I want to feel
You can do it
I
in
know,
Australia.
There's a lot of people like in places like Belfast and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yep.
Right.
It's going to be beautiful. How you doing, bro? What's that?
I would love to buy something to do that.
Yeah, you could always mail it home to yourself. Yep. I do have a little card or something. It's my little card or something. Cool. What's funny is I was just relating a story before my friend showed up. I was relating the story like that and yeah. Did you hear about Robin Williams passed away? Today. Yeah. Looks like suicide, asphyxiation, some kind from depression. 63. It's all I mean, everybody knew. I mean, you check the Facebook, everybody knew what's in the house.
Wait.
There's a cafe over on Deer Street. Here. But you can also go to the library. It's up Venice Boulevard. You walk down here to Venice Boulevard. Go to the left. Or it's going right up to the library. And they have terminals you can check your stuff. Yeah. So, back to the gathering there. Finish the story, and then we want to get some paint on something. So, the brother is standing there, and he says, you know, his sister came to him recently, and there was a woman with him, and his sister said, you know, this woman says that she wants to get a message. She wanted to communicate a message to the Rainbow family, and the woman said, and he describes this woman, you know, and she said that she just wanted to say thank you to everybody for helping her along the way, you know, get on her way, you know, and so, I mean, you know, for years I thought about that, and you know, it's amazing that of all the people, I mean, there were probably in the neighborhood about 1,500 people in that dinner circle, and for that that man to walk up to the circle and start talking out of the blue. And I've never seen him. I'd never seen him before, and I've never seen him since. About this message he wanted to deliver to the Rainbow family, for him to have picked the one person in that whole thing that had a direct connection with that person. I mean, that's the universe right there. And then the fact that this person wasn't burning in hell, for as the culture would have us believe about people that take their own lives, but instead she was in a really good place. She was happy and disemburdened. That's, for years it gave me pause, and then, like I said, this recently I learned, like when my friend Bam Bam died, I just knew that he was in a good place. He was in a better place, and not in any crazy, like, tormented space, And then just recently studying all the stuff about out-of-body experiences and everything, my studies have, confirmed that there are places where people can go where those, torturous things occur, but that's only because they're all and that the universe doesn't judge. We judge ourselves. Pure and simple. So anyway, thanks for listening. We got 49% left. Let's paint some canvas, shall we? So this is as far as we got on Friday. Didn't get a space on the weekend, so I didn't do anything on this. But I have well, let's just take a look at it. So this required dividing the circle into 7, which means that each one of these points is a little over 51 degrees apart. And as I said on Friday, 7 is the only number between 1 and 10 that cannot be divided evenly into 360. And instead, if you do the math yourself, you'll realize that it creates what's known as a transcendental number. That's a number that repeats to infinity. So you can only approximate where these points should be. And so what I see is that obviously the number 7 that everybody's so fond of is the number that has to do with transcendence. Yeah. So, and the ethereal, where you can't actually put your finger on that thing. So, but I want to do some more to this. But I have another painting, an idea that came to me last night, and I think it would be kind of fun just to break with tradition and not just finish this right now, but do this other painting first, because it's not going to be as involved as this filling in all of that. I think this might be a little more interesting to watch. So.
I'm coming down with the cold at the same time. Stop there.
Hey, Zach. Let's buy some 5 bucks. It looks like a still soft.
Can I have my wallet, Mom?
No, yours.
Yeah, my
Carl's doing this right now. Questions? Yeah. Knock stuff up and then yell at you. What about you? You're a fellow artist. These fucking weirdos just staring over here on the sideline. Like, what the fuck? Are you a weirdo? Why, what the fuck are you looking at? I'm not here for your fucking entertainment. You're lucky I don't hit you and say, give me your money.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
What's your latest project?
Just getting started.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thanks.
The blue. You started with cobalt, then you went to sky blue.
Watch your hand there.
Gregory. And you went to sky blue. Am I right?
I don't know. Are you?
Well, you're the one that has the answer because you painted it.
Sometimes I don't
And now
know the
that's
answer.
gold. That's, well, you can call it yellow or gold. Or the beginning of the sand or the ocean. Gotta love your work.
Thanks, brother.
I can only paint like you.
You can.
Oh, crap. I have self-esteem problems.
So what?
I don't believe in myself.
So
I'm
what?
afraid people will reject me.
So what? You gonna let that stand in the way of
You've
painting?
heard the term starving artist.
Not just. I haven't just heard it. I think my
You're living it.
my picture is in the dictionary next
Yes,
to those
exactly. You're living it.
Yes, it's true.
You can paint, you could be a genius, and people still won't buy the art, and you'll still be starving,
That's right.
but yet your work can be genius.
Yep, it's true.
And your work is genius, and you're down here, and I know you're having a hard time making a living.
Yep.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
You need a gallery.
I need a gallery. Yep. That would be the solution, wouldn't it?
You are my favorite artist down here.
Thank you.
My second one is the one. So is that one? Pictures of all Venice, all these animals and crocodiles and he's got an old vintage car. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
I can't explain it.
It's all right.
It's so hard to explain. But you're just as good as me. Oh, green. What's that gonna be?
That happens by itself.
Oh,
It's a sizing reaction to the paint to this stuff that they put on the fabric.
oh. So you're gonna cover it up?
Nope.
No?
Nope. I leave it.
No, you shouldn't. You should cut out Morning Star.
It's in a lot of my work. It
looks like the Morning Star.
How'd you feel that way? All right.
Oh man, I'm just blown away by your work. You should be traveling the world.
I'm traveling the world.
Exhibiting your wares. And you should be making boo-boo bucks.
Yeah, well,
Because you are that good.
thank you. Who knows?
I'm nowhere near that good. That's why I'm afraid to show you my work. Because I'm embarrassed.
Well,
Compared to my work to your work, I'd be embarrassed.
I wouldn't worry about
Maybe
it.
it's a self-esteem problem.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All artists have a self-esteem problem. Am I right?
I don't know.
They say, I'm going to get rejected.
I think all people have issues like that.
They say, I'm going to get rejected. People aren't going to like me. And they're afraid to show their work. Well, that's me. I'm a good artist. But I'm afraid of rejection. But you never stop, man. Every time I come down here, it's something new.
But
You must have a whole room full of things.
yeah, they're in storage. And it's time to pay the storage.
It's time to open your gallery
Yes,
and start selling.
that's a great idea.
And you're going to make thousands,
So,
tens upon thousands of
what a
dollars.
great idea.
Because there's no other art like this. Oh!
Yeah,
This guy with the cape.
it's a self-portrait.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I was going for amazing.
And you did it.
Thank you.
You achieved it. Why can't I do it?
You can do your own stuff.
I'm not as good as you.
But you can still do your own stuff. I mean, there's always going to be somebody better than you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least you get inspired. and just got to use that inspiration to.
You know, I went to the
do
Getty
stuff.
Museum yesterday.
How was it?
It was great. I went to one in Malibu. Now I want to go to the one that's near.
On the 405.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good time to go. Is the afternoon leading towards sunset, because the view from that place as the sun, right about now as the sun's going down and the city starts to light up, it's magnificent.
And then I'm going to the North Simon. I was 20 years ago. And I haven't been to any of these for 20 years. Because I was wrapped up in something bad.
Well, that one didn't even exist then, That one, the Getty that's up on the 405, didn't even exist.
Yeah, you're right. They built that later.
And it's beautiful, man. You can get lost in it. They have a copy of, not a copy, what am I saying?
Oh,
they have the original
You
for,
know the best museum I ever went to?
what's that?
San Simeon. William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that place is. It could take 3 days to see that place.
Really? I've driven by a gazillion times, and I've never stopped.
Stop. It'll be worth your while.
Well,
You know they have.
told me my sister went there, actually.
You know they have French furniture, French tapestries from the 1700s. Whole rooms of the real thing. Russian. What was that guy's name that made them Russian jewelry?
You talking about the Fabergé egg?
Fabergé eggs. There you go. Thank you.
This one.
They've got all the Fabergé eggs there, most of them. Some of them are owned by billionaires and millionaires, but they got most of them there. And they got so much Fabergé stuff. And I always go to the art festivals up in Echo Park, Silver Lake. And where I see an art festival, I go. And you see the most amazing stuff. God, you paint fast.
Depends on the piece.
I paint much slower than that.
It's all relative, man. So I keep telling you.
Well, you're channeling.
Channeling.
You're channeling.
Channeling.
You know
What channel am I on, man?
You know what I mean, right?
What's my channel?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know what I mean.
I know what you're saying. Everybody
It's
talks
coming
about
from a
channeling.
different place. It's coming from.
Why couldn't it be coming from right here? What's wrong with right here? This is a good beach.
No. And it's coming from you.
It's coming from me on this good beach. That's right. This idea came in last night from the term open mind.
Open mind.
Open mind.
There you
It's
go.
got an open mind.
The mind is open.
Yes, it's true.
White light. White light is intelligence. White light is metaphysical. White light is artificial intelligence. You got it. You got the right idea.
I have the right idea.
Man, I really respect these artists. Oh God, I respect you. If I could paint like you,
But what do you paint like?
I paint like Andy Warhol.
Well, that doesn't suck.
I paint like
You know, that's
I
pretty good.
paint like
You know, he had a show down here.
what's his name?
His first West Coast show was at the LA Louvre on the just down on Venice Boulevard.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was his. You know what he showed?
What?
The Campbell soup cans. The first. It was the first exhibition of the Campbell soup cans.
Not the
Brillo.
not the Brillo
No,
boxes.
no, it was all the Campbell soup cans. And you know, here's the thing that most people don't know. You know, he's known as a pop artist, right?
Yes.
Right. Everybody thinks it means pop art, right? like popular art.
Cheer boxes, Tide boxes.
Yeah, but what most
the
people
soap boxes.
Right. But the reason what pop art means, it doesn't mean popular art.
It means pop art, meaning pop. How do I say it? Maybe you can say it for me.
Hello.
Not
Well,
popular.
that ain't it. That's not what it means. Pop art is a term. He was an illustrator
Yes.
before, you know, he opened up his factory
Yes.
in New York, right? So
The
it's
silver
all of his first one, and it was called the factory. You know, it was a loft space. It was one of the first loft spaces in the late 50s, early 60s, something like that, right? And he was really highly in demand as an illustrator.
Yes, he was.
And doing commercial work for advertisers and that kind of thing. And pop means point of purchase, right? So he was creating the sort of work that would go in storefronts, you know. So hence the soup cans and stuff would be the sort of thing that you would see in
storefront.
In a storefront for a supermarket.
Advertising.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, huh?
That's
I think
why he did Brillo can boxes.
Exactly. The objectification of consumer culture. Right.
The Clorox boxes.
Yep. Brillo pads. Yeah. Your whole
Then Banksy came along, did phone booth. You know Banksy?
Oh yeah.
And then he made all this artificial money with the Queen's picture on it. The Queen got pissed and said, "No, you can't do it. It's illegal. You're making fake money and it's illegal."
Well,
it's funny. So they made him quit doing the Queen's picture on fake money.
There was
and Banksy had to just get rid of it. He threw away $1,000 of art because they said if he didn't throw it away, he would get arrested. And he thought he was gonna make a fortune. No, he broke the law. But he did make buku bucks on that phone book.
There was a guy who, long time before Banksy came along, there was a guy that used to make his living by painting. Like if he went to a restaurant, he would paint a painting of the money that his bill was. You know, like paint a little version of a bill that would, you know, pay for his meal, and that's how he lived, right? Until he went to Australia, and then they arrested him for counterfeiting.
Oh my God.
You know, because they said you can't paint our money. You know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Aussies, they don't mess around.
You got the rainbow this year?
Excuse me?
Did you get the rainbow this year?
Yes, I did.
Was it good?
Of course.
Yeah. Was it Utah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you hear about next year's consensus?
Texas?
No, I don't know.
I can hear you.
I said that was a
Did I
hell
hear the
no.
consensus?
Yeah.
What's the consensus?
The consensus is Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire.
That'd be beautiful. That's like the only part of the country I've never been to.
Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Indiana,
Oh, not Indiana.
South Dakota, and Michigan.
Wait. That was. You mean they're gonna try to do a rainbow everywhere, or they're trying to decide on those ones?
No, that's not trying to decide. That was the consensus, and those will all be scouted for a site.
And then they'll post it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is that how they usually do it? They have
No.
like yeah, right. They usually pick like a state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
But at least people won't be.
Nice, dude. Those are good. Yeah, I can't say I took your favorite yet, but
I love the wall.
yeah. That's what I grew up
Animals. And wish you were here.
Nice.
But Pink Floyd is probably number 3.
So were you at the consensus meeting?
Oh no.
Yeah, you
No, I
told me
left
about
on the
that last
6th.
one and how stupid it got.
Yeah, they can get pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But I think the last time I sat through the whole thing, it was all in one day. You know, it was in Pennsylvania, like I don't know, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And we did it all in one day, right at sunset, right as
What they do? Drag it on? Nobody can make decisions.
No,
They're like,
there was
okay.
like 100, just a little more than 100 people spoke. One passed the feather. We reached consensus. I called for the consensus. I don't remember what the hell.
Oh no, in Pennsylvania, but
Yeah.
this time they must have gone and deliberated and never came to a decision.
It was 3 days.
5 different states.
3 days.
That's craziness.
I think it's on it's pretty quick on the 3rd day.
Yeah, but it was a good year. That's cool, man.
Yeah, the site was amazing. In fact, I just posted on Facebook.
Oh, I'll check it out.
There's a video on Fox News of the cleanup.
Because they were impressed.
Oh yeah, they were like, they were so begrudging. But what can you say when you have the Forest Service guy and woman on the screen saying, "There's nothing else we need to do here."
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? We don't have to come up here to do anything. They did it all. You know.
That's really cool.
And they were done. They were done by the 21st of July.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I mean, sometimes it can take all friggin' summer, you know. But and a good percentage of the stuff was recycled, and only a few things went to the dumpster. We went to the landfill. And, yeah, people did a great job. So yeah, it's like a 3 or 4 minute thing on my Facebook thing. You'll see.
That's awesome. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Any good internationals?
The European gathering right now is in Romania, and the World Gathering starts in September.
Which one's September?
The World Rainbow Gathering.
Where's that one?
It's in Hungary.
Oh, that sounds fun, man. I wish I was over there right now. That'd be super cool. Yeah, I've been living and working out in Catalina. It's been fun.
Right?
Yeah. It's good to see you, brother.
Take care.
I wish I had a computer. I could get your website, but I don't have a computer.
Yeah, well, there's the library.
Well, I could do that. Is there more art that I haven't seen?
Of course.
On that? Can you write it down for me?
I can give you a card.
Perfect. I would love to see your art. I know I'm going to be
got
blown away.
12%. Cool.
I know I'm going to be blown away.
No.
You heard of 01 Gallery?
Maybe. What is that?
It's on Melrose.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's where you make the big bucks.
We'll see.
Because people are nuts for this stuff on 0 calories.
I used to have my, I was still in the t-shirt business. I used to have my art t-shirts in a gallery on Melrose, and my postcards. Yeah. We're talking, what, 1989, something like that?
Oh, God.
1987. 1987.
I've been here since 1979. I've been around a long time. I used to work for a rock club called the STrEAMiN. You might have heard of the STrEAMiN.
Nope.
Yeah,
I wasn't into clubs.
Oh, I'm into rock music. Yeah, I used to work for them. I used to work the door for the rock club. There was the #1 rock club in Los Angeles, the STrEAMiN. They had Iggy Pop, The Cult, Jane's Addiction, all the time. Faster Pussycat, Guns N' Roses played there 4 times. And I got to work the door. And that was quite a privilege because I really enjoyed it. Because when I worked, I got to see the show for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I love all their music. I love Guns N' Roses. What kind of music do you like to? New Age?
Sure.
I love
But
New
also,
Age. You ever heard of, what was that called?
Why are you running into people?
Emerald Web.
I can't say that I have.
Well, anyway, I'll let you get back to your painting.
Thank you, sir. I'm about to close out the show.
Wow, look at this. You put a different kind of silver on it.
No, it's not silver.
Well, it shines.
From where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And his mind is open
One hope.
to the universe. He's drawing in knowledge and putting out knowledge. Good to meet you again.
All right, brother.
And God bless you.
Indeed.
Keeping on, keeping on. God bless you.
Okay. Such as it is, today's inspiration. Crazy. All right. Well, what do we got? 5%. And you know what that means. That means we're going to get cut off unless we close it out. So, thanks for listening. I hope this was a show that you could actually understand what I'm saying, because I'm in a spot that's where the reception's kind of lame. But anyway, beautiful sunset coming up. So we'll be out here all this week. So tomorrow is show number 55. There's a milestone for you. There's one more thing. So yesterday I was body surfing straight out here, and I'm out past everybody else and waiting on a wave, and it's always this thing about, especially here, when you're body surfing, you know, it's always best not to take every friggin' wave. And just because you can make a wave, you know, because you can ride a wave doesn't mean that you ought to. Or you can try to ride a wave doesn't mean that you ought to, because there's some waves you definitely do not want to ride, and or try to ride, because they will break you into little tiny pieces. And yeah, so yesterday I'm thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? If you take a wave and it breaks you into little tiny pieces, while you know the world is dealing with the fact that you're all in pieces, there's going to be another wave right after that, just like the last one. And so, yeah, be very judicious about the waves you choose to ride, baby. Okay, so we love you. Bless.